So what is the change in this leadership at Boeing going to mean for the stock? Joining us tonight is David Dietze, president of Point View Wealth Management, who is a shareholder in Boeing, we should point out. So what do you make of today's development?
Well, I think it's a positive here. As Phil was just mentioning, the relationship with their regulator, the FAA, had completely fallen apart.
Right.
That is a non-starter, really. Second, of course, you got to inject more transparency into the process of recertifying these 737 MAXs. I think this is well on its way. And finally, just some new blood to kind of defuse tensions. I think that's going to be critical here. And so I think it's a positive.
Do you want to see other change in leadership? I mean, some other executives have already left the company as well. But as a shareholder, do you welcome David Calhoun, but he's only one person?
Absolutely. And this is a short-term move. Mr. Calhoun is 62 years old. He's not going to be there for 10 years. He's also been with the board for close to a decade, so it's not a complete rechange and so forth. He's not an engineer, and I think Boeing needs to listen to their engineers a little bit more. So it's not a perfect choice, but I think the fact that, when they were in a crisis situation, they didn't have a chance to do, a 6-month search around the industry. And so I think this is the best they could do, and I think it's a positive.
All things considered, for what a disastrous year, PR-wise and otherwise, it has been for Boeing, the stock is only down 11% to this point, not counting today's comeback rally of sorts. What did you make of that?
Well, I think that underscores why we're bullish over the long haul. Basically, the aircraft business is growing about 5% per year. Everyone around the world wants to fly. It's the quickest way to move around. And of course, there's just really two companies that are in the business. You've got Airbus, you've got Boeing. And so there really aren't a lot of options. And you still see the backlog for the 737 MAX is staying pretty constant here. So I think over the long haul, given how much experience you need to get certification, based on how much engineering and capital you need to make an airplane, Boeing's not going anywhere. So I think over the long haul, ultimately it gets past that. And that's why there's not a bigger sell-off.
Having said that, though, you're not adding to positions. I mean, you're just hanging in there right now.
So I don't see a real catalyst. And I mean, we're down about 25% from the all-time high. Having said that, I would not urge people to sell. You've got an above-average dividend. You've got a price-to-earnings multiple that's below the market. Yet you have a company that's one of the standouts. I mean, this is America's largest employer. This is its largest exporter. So this is really the king of the hill still. And so I would hang in there for the long haul. If there's another big pullback for whatever reason, yeah, you can buy into it.
I mean, company really is not out of the woods yet. They still have to get this plane back in the air, and that's not going to be all that easy, I would think.
Well, I think that's right, but it will get recertified. And I do think this helps things because now that you have a better relationship with your regulator, you're going to get your calls returned more quickly. There's always gray areas in this recertification. I think you're going to get a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt that you weren't going to get under Mr. Muhlenberg.
David Dietze with Point View Wealth Management. Again, thanks for coming in tonight, David.
Thank you, Bill.
See you later.